Let's talk about gimmicks. Why do people come up with gimmicks? That's a question. Leave your answer down there. What is the soul tribe? Leave your interpretations down there. What is a culture vulture? Leave your answers down there. What is it when you're in tune or spiritual? Leave your answers down there. Now, when the first come out, my name was Nikki Phillip. It still is Nikki Phillip. Why is my name Nikki Phillip? I will explain it to you. My middle name is Nicole, which is 7 letters, not 6. It's spelled Nichole, Nicole. So that's where you get Nikki, short for Nicole. That is me, Nikki, short for Nicole. My last name, which is my government name, which I get from my daddy, is Philip. His name is Hector Philip. He's a junior. Okay, my granddad is third degree Mason. Okay, and my grandmommy is a high priestess, right? Both of them transfer over, promoted, you know. May they sleep in power. May they awaken in power. Uh, anyway, I'm paying homage to Elsa Phillip, Hector Phillip, Hector Phillip Jr., the Phillip family. Okay, so that is where you get Nikki Phillip. The last name is from my daddy, which my mommy married into. Right? The first name is from Nicole. Nikki is short for Nicole. That is my government name. That is not a gimmick. Okay? My name is Nikki Phillip. All right? Now, my government name is Shonda. All right? Shonda. Okay? I'm of mixed descent. Okay? I doesn't feel like going through the motherfucking rundown, but look at the videos and all the other shit, and you can see I'm not going to do that shit. We're talking about gimmicks right now. Okay? So my name is not a gimmick. Now, let me break down a little something about my last name. Philip. It's French. Okay? It's French. All right? Now, if you break it down, if you're spiritual or in tune, fill up, to fill up is what? To fill up, to be full, to have overflow, runneth over. Fill up your cup. Fill up. Fill up. Get it? Fill up. Fill, lip, fill up. Okay? Fill, lip will come out your lips as what you manifest. I'm a master manifestation. Master manifestator. Okay? Yes, I have multi dialects, so sometimes it's gonna be, a little tricky for me to get the shit out. That's why I doesn't like to fucking explain myself, because I have to fucking keep repeating myself because of my dialects. Okay, my multi dialects. Anyway, now fill up means to fill up your cup. It's also French. Fleur de lis is the lily. It's a lily. It's the first Christian cross. It's the flower of Eve's first tear. Okay? I'm ominous, but I was raised Christian. But my grandma was Jehovah's Witness. Okay? My daddy's God body. My granddaddy's a Grand Mason, Master Mason. Okay? My grandma is High Priestess, even though she's a Jehovah's Witness. Okay? And I have Muslims in my family. My husband is a Hebrew Israelite. Okay? I'm also Indian, Egyptian, and I have a lot of Jewish people in my family. Okay, we're Jews, Hebrew Israelites. Okay, good morning, Nicola. So anyway, right? I was born on the 4th month and the 4th day. Now, if you enter numerology, right? 4 means manifestation. Okay. I happen to have 2 4s. So that means I am a master manifestation. Now, if you add the 4 and the 4 together, what do you get? You get an 8, right? 8 means karmatic. Karmatic. So that means whatever you put out, you're going to get back. All right? Because my number is a 4 because I manifest. But because I have 2 4s, I have to be within the light because of karmatic intervention. All right, that is how you create cosmic law. That is how the universe create balance. God decides, not some horoscope or numbers. Yes, God does decide. Okay, God does decide. In Jesus' name, amen and ashe. God does decide. And also, if you're a Christian, cold, dead witch. If you said God decides, but your name says cold, dead witch. So you're cold and you're dead and you're a witch. That is fascinating. All right. So since you say that God decides, you cold, dead witch. That is your name. You cold, dead witch. God will decide what happens to you next. So as I was saying, because what your comment says and what your name says is extremely contradicting. Your comment says God decides, not some horoscope or numbers, right? But your screen name says cold, dead witch. I really think that you should go stand in a fucking corner and put a motherfucking book on your head, because you need to go back to the drawing board of what the fuck is going on with you. Okay? Don't come on here if you don't want to get read, because I will read the fuck out of you. Alright? I'm a high priestess. So let's start right there. Now, as I was motherfucking saying before you brought your stupid ass up in here, yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. A double 4 equals an 8. 8 is karmatic. So whatever you throw at me, gonna go back to you. Huh? Mine don't go 10 times. Mine goes 8 times. So whatever you throw at me, gonna go back to you 8 times over. Alright? I'm Nikki the God also. Alright? Now, my name is 777. That's a 21. That's a 3. My family works with the power of 3. Okay, so not only am I a high priestess, I have the power of 3. I'm also a high rank Eastern Star. Alright? I was in the Rainbow Children when I was younger because my granddad is a high rank Mason. Okay? So not only am I a high priestess, my granddad is a high rank Mason. My daddy is a God body. Okay? My father works in the music industry as a celebrity DJ. He put a lot of these celebrities on. Okay? So I'm not new to this. I was born into this music thing. I was born into this industry thing. I was born into this spiritual thing. I'm not just raised as a Christian. I'm also spiritual. Okay? I'm an empath. I'm an empress. Okay? How do you become an empath? You have to go through shit. Okay? And you still have to have empathy and compassion and forgive the people that do shit. Just like I forgive cold, dead witch, because if I don't forgive you, my ancestors will rock your jaw. Okay? Moving right along. Shout out to Conjure Queen. Shout out to Tiara's Tarot. Shout out to Phoenix Marvelous. Shout out to Intuitive Goddess. Shout out to my Emperor. Shout out to Elohim. Now, I'm extremely sensitive to energy. So whatever it is that you think you're throwing at me, you feel it. And I feel it on you. So if you're panicking and you have anxiety, I think you need to go take a shower and calm the fuck down. Okay? Now, don't come attacking me on my page, especially considering the fact that I didn't attack you. Alright? So hopefully you'll think about that shit the next time you do that to somebody else. Alright? Because I ain't sent for you. And best believe, if you try that again, my ancestors will shut that shit the fuck down. Alright? Alegua knows who you are. So does Abatala. So does Lord Shiva. So does Oya. So does the Grim Reaper. Do not play with me. Okay? Moving right along. As I was saying, I don't mind messy comments. Because if your skin is not thick, I suggest you don't make certain comments to me. Because you will be crying at the end of this live. Because I didn't send for you. Okay? Now. Back to numbers. I'm a double 4, which means that 4 means manifestation. So what you manifest will materialize. Let's go back to this screen name here, because I need to give you some lessons. Cold Dead Witch. You've manifested yourself as a cold, dead witch. That is what you will materialize. Being a cold, dead witch. It's very interesting that you mentioned God. You said God decides, not some horoscope or numbers. Why are you mentioning God if your name is a cold, dead witch? Because obviously, you're a cold, dead witch. How are you talking to me if you're dead? You're obviously cold if you made that kind of comment, talking about God. You're obviously a witch if you say horoscope or numbers. I never mentioned anything about a horoscope. Now, whoever listens to this live, they're going to see. I never mentioned anything about a horoscope. Now, let's talk about horoscopes, since you brought it up. Cold Dead Witch. I'm an Aries. My rising is a Libra. Yes, I am into numerology. Very much so. Mathematics. Very much so. My daddy is God body. Very much so. They call me Nikki the God for a reason. Very much so. So Aries is the god of war. I suggest you back the fuck up. I'm very nice if you're nice to me. See, now it says this message is helpful reviews. What is this? Greetings, sweet doll. This is a live where we're talking about gimmicks and we're reading people. Because people, I noticed that people like to come up in people's lives and talk shit because they're behind the computer. If you go a little further up right before your comment, It says, God decides, not some horoscope or numbers. You don't know what people into. You don't know why it inspires them. I was speaking positive. Numerology is to be considered a positive if you use it correctly. Okay? This is just business. See, 5 is good for business. And 5, Oshun likes 5. Alright? Oshun is a portal to the art of entertainment. Okay? Where are you from? I'm from United States. I'm from New York. Okay? Sweet doll. I like your name, Sweet doll. It's very becoming. I like your name. So, when you deal with horoscopes, because Cold Dead Witch mentioned horoscopes, but also mentioned God, which, you have witches that believe in God, but I don't know what kind of witch this individual is, because you have male witches too. So I don't know if that's a male witch or a female witch. That is neither here nor there. But you have witches that believe in God. But I'm not a witch. Let's get the record straight. I'm not a witch. I'm a high priestess. And I'm an omnist, which means I believe in God. But I also believe in the elements. You pay homage to your ancestors. I believe in the elements. Okay? The things that people take for granted, I give thanks for. Like, what keeps you warm outside? Sun. What keeps you hydrated outside and feeds the soil that you get your food from? Rain. Water. What do you bathe in? Cleanse your energy, your spirits. You eat, you cook with it. Water. Okay? The sun also correlates to fire. You have wind, that is air. Okay? Spirits travel through the wind. Your breath will be considered wind. You breathe air, wind. Earth, wind, water, fire. Earth is what? We all live on earth. Some of us are reincarnated. Spirits live on earth too. We have multi-realms, multi-dimensions. Okay? This is very touchy for some people that are closed-minded. But people don't take that into account, that the very earth that you live on. Let's go back to Cold Dead Witch. You do spells, right? You call yourself a witch, right? You use the elements to do your spells, correct? You use the earth's elements to do your spells, right? In your rituals, right? I suggest you go pay homage to the elements that you use to produce your spells. See, I don't do spells. I pay homage to the elements. I work with the elements. I work with the universe. Okay? This message is held for review. See, this is what happens when you come in your live with respect. The moderators actually notice that you're being attacked, and they start holding comments and reviewing them. Because you're not fin to come up in somebody's live being disrespectful and then get mad. So this is the reason why people be butthurt, like the Cold Dead Witch, and then they want to go put a hex or a curse on you because you told them about yourselves, about themselves. How you going to call yourself a Cold Dead Witch and then talk about God? God decides, not some horoscope or numbers. That's what the Cold Dead Witch said. So God is going to decide what's going to happen to that Cold Dead Witch. Not some numbers. Because I'm sure you use numbers in your spells, you Cold Dead Witch. I'm sure if you mentioned horoscope and I didn't before you made that comment, you believe in what your horoscope predicts for you. Because you mentioned horoscope, not me. Right? Anyway. Now let's talk about names. And it's so funny, the segue. Cannot make this up. What your name is basically gonna tell a story about you. I do music. It's available on all streaming platforms. My name is Nikki the God. What God acronym means in my name is Gaia of Deities. Gaia of Deities. Gaia means Mother Earth. Okay? Deities means other spirits, saints, angels, archangels, ancestors, Orishas, demigods, um, goddesses, gods. So deities, that is something that a frequency, excuse me, that is a frequency that some people pay homage to, some people pray to, some people worship, some people acknowledge it. It could be a person that uh, pass away, transition, become unalive. Um, some people pray to those people. Some people even pray to celebrities. So celebrities could actually, in fact, be considered a deity at some point in time in their life. Okay, so you want to be very careful what you talk about when you're talking about these deities, because they can hear you. Just like you can hear me talking to you, they can hear you. So don't talk shit about certain deities and spirits, because they get offended just like people do. You talk to your parents and you say something and they pop you in your mouth because you become disrespectful. That is the same way the spirits do. Because some of these spirits used to be people, some of these spirits used to be alive, some of these spirits are ancient. So you have to be respectful of how you talk to or about these spirits, okay? Because they can feel energy. You cannot lie to the universe. You cannot lie in the spiritual realm. It's impossible. You cannot cloak it. You cannot manipulate it. People can manipulate matter, but you cannot manipulate the spiritual realm, because the spirits, they were around before you are, you know. So if you're tapped into, the elements, you call yourself a witch. I'm not a witch, So don't call me a witch. I'm not a witch. I'm a high priestess. And a high priestess can do the same thing a witch can do, but I don't. A lot of them don't because they don't have to. That is something that you're born with. We don't do spells because it's absolutely ridiculous to us. We're too powerful to be sitting there putting herbs and spices together trying to conjure up some shit to put curses on people. It's absolutely ridiculous to us. We don't even see the purpose of it because you're manipulating matter. And, when you start to try to manipulate matter, it just causes a domino effect. You could go and, mess yourself up trying to manipulate matter. You doesn't know what you're tapping into. You just have people tapping into Pandora's box and they don't notice, okay, well, what is happening? They're going to ask themselves, why is it happening in their lives? They doesn't know because 2 years ago you tapped into something and you put a curse on somebody and you forgot about that curse you put on somebody and it backfired, or maybe the person found out, and now that energy that you send at that person is hitting you. You break your own heart doing curses on people. It always backfires. We recommend, spiritual people recommend, even Christians, and they're not tapped into none of that stuff. They don't believe in that stuff. They say it's superstition. They recommend you don't do curses on people because it backfires every single time. It doesn't fail. Just because it didn't catch you the same day you put it out doesn't mean it's not going to catch your ass a year later, 10 years later when you forgot about it. So you spend your whole life, half your life, couple of years, couple of months putting curses on people. You think about it. You put 3 curses on a person in 1 year. It come back to you 2 years later. That's 30 curses worth of those 3 curses that you put on people because it come back 10 times over. Stop putting curses on people. It's absolutely ridiculous. Stop getting mad at people and then you want to curse people. Y'all know the consequences of that. Then it gets to the point that now you done put some curses on people and it backfired and you can't get it off of you. because you don't even know how to get it off, but you know how to put it on. Don't go putting curses on people and you don't know how to get it off of them. Do right by people. The best suggestion is to be kind to people. You never know what they're going through. You never know what they're into. You don't know who their ancestors are. Stop being mean to people for no reason. What do you get out of that? It's ridiculous. You go and put love spells on people, and then they don't love you because it backfired, or they fall in love with you because of the curse, and then you end up falling in love with them because the curse worked, because you put a love spell on them, and now you're head in love over heels with them. 5 years pass, and then they break out of that curse, or they find out you cursed them. Now you love them 50 times more than they love you, and they hate you because the curse backfired, because they never loved you in the first place. It was the curse that caused an illusion to make them think that they loved you. What they loved about you is a mirror reflection of themselves. That is what the love spell is. The person that fall in love with you actually is not falling in love with you. They fall in love with a version of themselves that you mirror. That is what the love spell is. Stop putting love spells on people. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then you get mad when they hate you. Why do they hate you? Because they never loved you in the first place. Now, if they actually love you in the first place and the curse breaks, they'll be heartbroken, but they'll still love you. But if they didn't love you, they'll be heartbroken and then they'll hate you. That's how love spells work. Now, let's talk about energy vampires. If I'm talking about spirits and curses and things of that sort, you're gonna have people that gonna send out energies to defend them. You have people that are in the arts that tap into certain spirits that protect them, right? And if you're talking about the people that they're protecting, they'll come for you. But what those people don't know is, if you cause the fight and they go to war for you, and they know that person spiritually that they're protecting you from, they're not going to attack that person. They're going to go back to you and say, why are you attacking that person? I went to go fight this battle for you, and I found out you the one that started it. I know this person in the spiritual realm. I know their ancestors. Their ancestors vouch for them. I'm not fucking with that person. I'm going to whip your ass now because you made me take time out of my busy schedule to go handle something for you, and come to find out you started it. Y'all had to know what y'all dealing with when y'all playing with certain things. You're sitting up here channeling people's ancestors. People's actual ancestors from their bloodline. From a past life, from their bloodline. And you're asking their ancestors to fuck them up. Oh, let me channel this one and go send it at this one. You come to find out the person you sending it at, that's their ancestor. That's my cousin. That's little sis. That's my great grandniece. I'm not gonna lay a finger on her. I'm gonna fuck you up. I know her. I know her grandmother. I know her great grandmother. I know her ancestors. Her ancestors and my ancestors. Go sit the fuck down. Now they're gonna check you. Know what you're getting yourself into when you go start attacking people. You don't know who they know. Do you ever realize there's some people that people throw curses at them all the time and it don't work? Because they're already being protected by their ancestors. They don't have to do none of that witchcraft stuff. If that's your kin, that's your kin. And say, that's my granddaughter. Why would I attack my granddaughter? What'd you do to her? That's my grandbaby. That's my blood. You just a friend of the family's. That's my granddaughter. You're not gonna attack the person that you sending curses at. They're not gonna go to war for you for one of their family members. Only way you would have something like that happen is if they have betrayed their family. But guess what? When they go into the spiritual realm, transition, transfer, get promoted, become unalived, they are redeemed. Some of them are redeemed. And they begin to protect you because they probably was in a realm or a world of illusion at the time that they betrayed you. Sometimes people don't betray you on purpose. Sometimes people betray you due to misinformation. Okay? So, just because you know stuff doesn't mean you know it all. And you have to be okay with not knowing it all. I know a lot, but I know I don't know it all. But the things I do know is quite accurate. And if I don't know, I'll learn. I'll ask questions. I don't assume that what I'm saying is right unless I have confirmation. It just so happens that I have discernment. It so happens that I get downloads, upgrades from my ancestors. I have discernment also. I was raised in a religious home. So don't come at me talking about God because I do believe in God. Okay? Let me tell you something about God. When you're disciplined and you read your Bible and you pray and you say, thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. Grand Rising, I give thanks. Thank you for protecting me each and every day. Thank you for sending the frequency of your vibration through a vessel that you call your son, your son, to guide us into ascended mastery. When you give thanks, you get promoted, not unalived. You get promoted in the physical. You don't have to wait until you become unalive to get your promotions. You can get your promotions in your physical because you are disciplined and you listen to God. You get promoted. Okay, you listen to me when I say don't worship those deities. Now I will tell you why. Now you have access to those deities. Now you can work alongside those deities. Now you are an ascended master like my son. Now you will see why your family protects the order of the Eastern Stars. Because my son is an ascended master. And because you were disciplined and you listened and you followed instructions to the T, now you have access to this information. Now you can work with this one. Now I will send you this one. I will send you more soldiers. I will realign you with your DNA. I will show you why I told you that you should not do this, that, and the third. Because those people are part of your DNA. Those people are part of your heritage. You ought to pay homage. Now you have inherited more access to your ancestral DNA because you listened. Now you have access to the ascended mastery. Now you know why my son fasted for 30 days and 30 nights. Now you know why we start with 1 day fasting, 3 days fasting, 7 days fasting, 30 days fasting. Now you know why Ramadan fast for 30 days. Now you know why we do it like this. Now you know why we pay it forward. Now you know why we have humanitarians. Now you know why we say do not cater to materialistic things. You have access to materialistic things, but you did not worship it. That's why I'm going to give you more. You did not idolize certain deities. That is why we will give you access to their wisdom. That is why we will give you access to divine wisdom, because you follow the rules. This is why you are an omnist, because you follow the rules. This is why you are divinely protected, because you follow the rules. You took the stairs. Rule number 1. Rule number 2. You followed the 10 Commandments. You did not judge. You forgave your enemies. You gave to your enemies. You did not lust after your neighbor's wife. You did not lust after your neighbor's husband. You did not lie. You did not cheat. You did not steal. You did not kill. This is the reason why you are being promoted in the physical. Because of your belief system. We tested you. You passed every test. You followed every rule. Now you have access to this. You passed that test. You've been promoted. You graduated to the 2nd grade. You followed your basic instructions before elevating. Before the level of elevation. Now you get to the 2nd floor. Now you go to the 2nd grade. You pass your tests. Now you get promoted to the 3rd grade. It's just like in school. Life is like school. Religion is like school. Spirituality is like school. Now you have access to this. You don't have to open this book. I will give it to you. Why do I give you discernment? Because I'm going to give you a feeling. You're going to feel the difference between good or bad. You're going to feel the difference between right or wrong. You're going to get a little voice that say, don't do that. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. You're going to get a little voice that say, do that. That is a good idea. If you're not sure, you be still. You pray about it. You prayed. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to meditate. Prayer is the first form of meditation. Now, because you've been praying, I'm going to show you how to meditate. Now, because you've been meditating, I'm going to show you how to tap in. Now, because you tapped in, I'm going to show you how to get downloads. Now that you get downloads, I'm going to show you how to upgrade. Get upgrades. Now that you get up. Now that you get your upgrades, your downloads, you tapped in, I'm going to allow you to ascend in the flesh. I'm going to promote you. I'm going to show you who was bothering you, why they was bothering you, when they was bothering you, and why I told you to not do idol worship. Because they was tapped into things and worshiping those idols. They were attacked by those idols because they didn't follow my rules. I gave them basic instructions. They didn't listen. But you listened. Now I'm going to show you why those idols attack them. I'm going to give you access. I'm going to ascend you into self-mastery. I'm going to keep on elevating you in front of your enemies. I'm going to show you who's your enemies and who's your friends. Why did I tell you to forgive your enemies? Because when I ascend you in your physical, in front of your enemies, they cannot say you never did nothing for them. I did that on purpose, just for you. You listen, my child. So I'm going to ascend you in front of your enemies. I'm going to sit them at a seat, at a table, prepared just for you, so they could see what gifts I have put aside just for you, because you listen to me. I'm going to show you why I told you not to worship idols. Because those idols are your auntie, your uncle, your cousins, your sisters, your brothers, your niece, your nephews, reincarnated into you. You pay homage to your family. What are you worshiping them for? Husband and wife should worship each other. That's it. You worship me, I'm your dad. I give you access to my son. My son will teach you the way. My son studied Buddhism, monk, tantric sex. My son had a girlfriend. My son had a wife. My son did everything so you wouldn't have to. My son was tested while he was fasting. My son is an ascended master. Now I'm going to ascend you into mastery. Now I'm going to give you the same knowledge as my son, because you went through my son, and my son gave you a good reference. My son said she followed the rules, discipline, dedicated to the T. She was casted out, she was stoned, she was ridiculed, but she still followed the rules. She still forgave. She's extremely sensitive to energy now because she's been heartbroken. All right, my son, I will make her an empath, so she will have empathy for those people, because when I give them a spanking, I don't want her to laugh at them. I want her to have compassion for them, because that spanking is going to be the reason why I told her to forgive her enemies, because she's going to feel sorry for them when they get their spanking. And I do. Why do I tell my story? Because you become a living testimony. The people that have watched my life, they know what I've been through. I've always been respectful my whole life. I've always stayed in a child's place. I still believe in God. If you go through the sun will give you a good reference. If you believe in God, as you put there, called that witch, you have to go through the sun to get to God. He has to be the reference. You're not going straight to God. People go, oh, my dad, my dad, my dad. Is that your dad? Well, do you know your brother? I am my brother's keeper. That's why they keep her. Because I know my brother. My brother gave me a reference. God, this is my sister. She's very loyal. I think we should help her out. Because she's been doing everything that you asked her to do. She talks to me all the time. I thought that maybe I put a good word in for her. I know you have so many children, and I know you're busy. That's why you put me in charge of this particular situation. But my sister needs your assistance because there's a lot of people bothering her for listening to you. She defends you all the time. She's going through something with her family. But I don't think it's because of her family. I think it's the people that's not a part of her family that's bothering her and her family. And she asked for my help. So I asked, would I be able to give her this little uh, gift from you to assist her with her troubles, because she's very obedient. She prays every day. She reads her Bible. She prays for people. She forgives her enemies. And they're still bothering her. She feel like, you know, maybe you forgot about her. Maybe we forgot about her. Can we show her that we didn't forget about her and that her works did not go in vain? Her faith did not go in vain? Can we give her more because she's so disciplined and dedicated and loyal? Well, let me check the book of good deeds, son. Oh, wow. Right. I'm going to give her more protection. Does she know that Lakshmi is her ancestor? I don't think she knows because we told her don't tap into certain frequencies. Does she know? Oh yeah. I don't think so because we told her doesn't, go outside of this basic instructions because it was for a reason. Oh, wow. Are you sure she doesn't know them? No, I mean, she knows of them, but she still follows the rules, so she doesn't really know. Hmm. Or does she worship other idols? No, she reads the Bible, she prays, she has faith. I mean, or does she know that she's the ancestor of Nefertiti? No, because we told her don't look into those kind of things. Does she know she's Egyptian? No, because we told her to just, she'll be safe over here. But the problem is, the more dedicated she becomes, the more she studies, reads the Bible, the more she prays, the more she, forgives, the more of a good humanitarian she's attracting a lot of attention. People are giving her hate for showing love. You know what? Give her this book. I know we told her to stay out of those books, but give her this book because I see that she's very loyal. I could trust her with this information. Give her this book. And as a matter of fact, she's going to question it because she's very loyal. I'm going to give her some downloads. I'm going to have the universe assist her. I'm going to give her confirmation after confirmation after confirmation after confirmation that this is a part of her purpose. I give her these downloads on purpose. I give her these upgrades on purpose. I'm going to connect her to her ancestors on purpose because there was a part of her past life. The only reason why I explained to her to leave it in the past is because it's the past. But considering the fact that she's so loyal, I think that she should know more about her bloodline. Give her a download that she's Egyptian. Let her know that she's Indian. Let her know that she's of Caribbean descent. Let her know that she did it right. But she doesn't have to not be a part of her culture because of how she was raised. To be Americanized. She followed the rules, the laws of the world, you know, cosmic laws. We check the book of cosmic laws. We check them with the Galactic Federation. We've been watching her. She's been doing the right thing since she was born. She's very humble too. And she's very polite. If she gets upset, that means that somebody must have really pissed her off, because this girl is always nice to everyone. If she cursed somebody out, that means somebody must have really pissed her off. If she's losing her faith and crying, that means somebody must have really hurt her and she feels like, wow, you know, I read here that it says that I will be protected. Why am I being attacked? You know what? We're going to keep our word because she was loyal and she kept her promise. We're going to keep our promise too. We're going to send her protection, more protection. We're going to align her frequency with archangels. We're going to realign her with her ancestors from the past life. We're going to remind her who is a part of her bloodline, where she came from, why she is the way she is, why we started to change the rules of certain cultures. We're going to show her who she is and why she's being attacked, because those people know who she is. They know her cousin. They know her grandfather. They know her grandmother. They're attacking her because she's special. We're gonna show them, don't bother her. We're protecting her for a reason. Now we're gonna give her access to her ancestors. Direct access. So if they try that shit again with her, they will be sorry. We taught her to be humble. We taught her to forgive her enemies. Because when they get that spanking, she's gonna feel sorry for them. And we like that about her. Because we don't want her laughing at them, just like they laughed at her. We're gonna make her rank so high that they'll think twice before they come at her again. That's what we're gonna do for her. We're gonna ascend her into self-mastery so that she could tap directly into her ancestors. Her great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, granddaughter, grandmother, great auntie. Oh, she's kin of Hatshepsut. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, alright. Isis. Oh, that makes sense. Oh. Sashat. Oh, Tuas. Oh. Kali. Oh, well, now that makes sense. Oh, well, that makes sense. What does it here? What's her bloodline say? Oh, Atlantis tribe. Oh. That makes sense. Oh. Alright. Okay, well, no, that makes sense why they're bothering her. Alright, well, we're gonna have, we're gonna, call Oya and let Oya know what's going on with her ancestor. Let her know they're bothering her ancestor. She'll handle it. Oh, what is it that they did? I see she was crying on this day here. Okay. I know she was crying, but I didn't know that's what's happening. Okay, this one that she's from where? Oh, okay, so back in this year, BC, this tribe and this tribe had beef, and then she's kin of the tribe they had beef with. Oh, that's their great granddaughter. Oh, that's why they're fucking with her. Alright, let me let them know that they're bothering their granddaughter. Don't worry, we'll handle it. Now, I noticed they have something in this uh, new lifetime, some type of program to keep the spirits, the people, the humans, the aliens, the ancestors, whatever you want to call it. They have like a rule book, so to speak, to make sure that what happened before doesn't happen. Because you know, back in the day, there was the tribes, the soul tribes, you know, the lineages. There was like a territorial beef. So maybe she got caught up in that because they said, well, that's their kid, that's their grandkid, that's, you know, that's his wife, that's his sister. Maybe they're bothering her because of her bloodline, and back in the day their bloodline had beef, so that's probably why they coming at her, because she didn't bother them, but they're bothering her. So let me see what is deriving from. Oh, that's why they're bothering her, because her bloodline, they had beef back in the day. That's why they're trying to steal her money, her inheritance, sabotage her, bother her, you know, tell her she's crazy for being spiritual, you know, that is what's going on. So this is this is how it's going to correlate. Her great grand ancestor give her mother, Darlene. Arlene, give Darlene a download from her ancestor to name her this. Her numbers add up to 777. She's going to inherit the ascended mastery of the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, through this religion. When she inherits this, and if she passes the test and she's disciplined, we will advance her to an advanced level. If she passed that test, we will advance her to the intermediate level. If and when she passed that test, which she did, we're going to give her access to Gnostic. We're going to give her direct downloads. Because she's followed the rules. These people that have not followed the rules, that have not been ordained, we're going to ordain her. It says here she's one of the apostles. Alright. It says she has the gift from her downloads passed on through DNA. It says here these pastors have led her astray. She's reading the book here, but they're telling her something else that's not in the good book. So what we're going to do is we're going to give her direct downloads. We're going to divinely intervene and give her direct downloads from the universe. Because I also noticed that she's very in tune with the elements. She takes care of animals. She gives thanks for her food because those animals, some of them were unalive so that she could eat. She doesn't judge, but yet the church that was supposed to be a safe haven is judging these people. We're going to give them direct access so they doesn't have to go through the good book. Because I noticed that they're changing words around in the good book. I don't like that. I don't like that. She asked the pastor, why it say this in the book but you say this in church? And the pastor stoned her for it. It says here on this day the pastor kicked her out of the church for asking the church why it say this in the book and you're doing the opposite. She get kicked out of the church for that? For asking the question within the grounds of the church? Oh, that's not right. That's not how this goes. Okay, we're going to divinely intervene and we're going to give her direct access to her questions because we're tired of those people judging her that's in the church that has specific rules. It says thou shalt not judge. Why are y'all judging her? Who are you to judge? Okay, now I'm going to judge you for judging her. She's celibate. She's married. She's faithful. She's honest. She's, we're going to look at her deeds. And now we're going to judge the one that's judging her. It says you're promiscuous. It says you're not married. It says you lie. It says you cheat. It says you steal. Why are you talking shit about her? So this is what we're gonna do. You say you a pastor? We're gonna strip you of that title. We're gonna give her the information that you were supposed to pass to the congregation. You tried to embarrass her? We're gonna give her the answers that only we know. That's only in forbidden books. We're going to give her those answers. Only people that have those answers is the people that have reached a certain frequency of discipline. The higher ups are going to know where she got that information from because they can only get it from us. We're going to strip you of your frequency that you named yourself. Or you say you was a prophet. You a prophet and you don't know her calling? We're going to strip you of your title. We're going to make her a prophetess. She's going to tell you about yourself. She's going to tell you what's going on with you. And then when she opens the Bible, it's going to correlate to what she just said as confirmation. Oh, you tried to embarrass her? Now we're going to embarrass you. How long you been a pastor in this church? 13 years? Okay. We're going to take 13 years of you being a pastor in this church. She's going to walk in your church, open the Bible, and debunk your 13 years worth of service. You're supposed to, you're a pastor. You name yourself a pastor? We did give you this title, but you messing up. See, you start to use the congregation for money when you're supposed to be passing the message down that we gave you. We gave you the message. You changed the message. Only way you could change the message is if you have the sermon to change the message. If we give you the message directly, why are you changing the message? Why are you capitalizing off of what we told you to tell these people? Now we're going to strip you of your title. Now we're going to go over you and give it to her because this is what we told you to tell her. And you didn't tell her that. And then you get mad at her for asking you something that's obvious she get discernment about. Hey, how come you said this but they say this here? Oh, don't worry about that because this, that, and the third. You did that to her. Guess what? I'm going to strip you of your gifts because I'm talking directly to you. You're supposed to pass the message on to the rest of the people. This is what I hired you for. I'm going to give it directly to her now so she don't have to ask you no more because you keep lying to her. Stop lying to her. Now I'm going to tell her who these other people are and these cultures. Now I'm going to tell her what happened in Nimrod. Now I'm going to tell her why she speaks in tongues. Now I'm going to tell her why they resonate with her. Because that's her family. That's her family. Those people that was cursed and they speak all those different languages, why I cursed them? Because they betrayed me. Now I'm going to give her access to that language before they was cursed. You can't lie to her no more. None of y'all can. Don't you ever do that to her. It says here she was the most disciplined. She followed every commandment. And y'all still betrayed her. Y'all lied to this girl. Y'all laughed at her. Y'all humiliated her. Y'all judged her. And y'all ain't even doing nothing that I asked you to do. Y'all robbed her. Y'all stole from her. Y'all cheated her out of her inheritance. She's been walking in her purpose since she's been born. And she didn't even know it. By just being nice to people. Before she got these rules, she was already doing it. And she's still doing it. Now I'm going to give her what I gave you and you didn't listen. Now I'm demoting you and I'm promoting her. You made her cry. Now you mad because her truth makes you cry? Y'all stealing her life story and making fun of her and doing it in her face? Okay. Why do you think she broke out of the paradigm, the old paradigm? What do y'all call it? The Matrix. Because I broke her out of it. I was tired of y'all lying on her, making fun of her, humiliating her. Now let me tell her who her ancestors are. Let me give her direct downloads. Let me tell her why she had to be disciplined. I had to test her loyalty. Now that I know she's loyal, I will give her access to these things. I will introduce her to her auntie, her uncle, her granddad, her sister, her brother, her past life husband that has been reincarnated. Her gifts that was passed down to her, but she couldn't get it until she reached a certain level of frequency. See, in this day and age, they leave you money and cars and stuff. You know, when they passing stuff down. See, when her ancestors was alive, they left you frequencies, gifts, downloads, upgrades. They actually left this for her, for their granddaughter. They put it in the will for her. It says if she does this, that, and the third, she inherits this. She did it all and more. And she paid it forward. And she paid homage. And she gave credit the right way. And she did not manipulate the story. And she forgave. Let me let her know what her ancestors left in the will for her. She gets it all. It says here that they knew she was supposed to get this. They tried to steal it from her. Well, we're not gonna let that happen. I see they stole some stuff from her already. She's gonna get all that back. Plus her inheritance. And we're gonna show people without having to explain herself why they should have stopped messing with this girl. She's gonna get back everything y'all took from her. That has happened when you're loyal. She's loyal to her whole family. And she has a multicultural background. Do you know how difficult that is? She's French, she's Indian, she's Egyptian, she's Japanese, she's 4% white, she's African American. Do you know she was raised in a religious home? Do you know how hard that is? She was born spiritual. Do you know how hard that is? She was called crazy for tapping into her cultural roots that she was born with. She was told not to talk like that because that is not how Americans speak. And that doesn't know she's mixed, but she's just born a citizen. She was told don't talk like that. She was called stupid for talking like her family. That's messed up. She was told her whole life, don't talk like that. Because that's not how you're supposed to be talking. But she go to other parts of her family and they say, why is talking like a Yankee? Why doesn't use your dialect? Why you let them people dumb you down? You have to break bread with us. You have to eat with us when you come here. Or we're going to take it as a sign of disrespect. You have to eat your food when you come in this house. Or we're going to take it as a sign of disrespect. You don't let everybody in your house. Who told you don't pay homage to your ancestors? Who told you that? Well, we doesn't do that. You're supposed to be fasting. You have to wash your feet. Wash your feet. Keep clean. Your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, this, that, and the third. Did you light a candle for him to say, hey, I remember you. Thank you for looking out for me. Thank you for, paving the way for me to get here. Without grandma and granddad have their babies, and their babies have their babies, their babies have their babies, their babies have their babies, she wouldn't be here. Make sure you give thanks for them creating their babies to create their babies to create their babies to create you. You better. Because without them, you wouldn't be here. You better give thanks to your ancestors. Those are your ancestors. I see she did that. I like that. I see here it says her mother raised this way. But she's Jamaican, Blackfoot Indian, white. But she was taught to live this way, and she teach her daughter that. And they teach her daughter, this is how you have to do. And she listened. when she go to her daddy house, her grandmama house, her daddy side, they say, no, you have to do it like this. After they take her to the parkway and they dance with the saints. Why is one side of the family tell her do it like this and the other side of the family tell her do it like that? Why you messing with her? I see one side of the family tell her to meditate, the other side of the family tell her to pray. What is wrong with y'all? Why y'all causing this cultural diversion with this girl? She's going crazy. Why this side of the family tell her doesn't speak tongues? This side of the family tell her if you speak tongues, you're gifted. Why this side of the family tell her tongues is forbidden language? What does you keep telling her all this different stuff? Greetings, Victoria. Why y'all keep on telling her this different stuff? When you have to deal with different cultural backgrounds, you realize that you are raised the way your family is raised. So of course, it's going to be a little discrepancy in the way you're raised. Some people like mild food, some people like spicy food. Some people eat chicken, some people eat beef. If you raised eating duck and then you go to another country and they eat chicken, you're going to say, what is this shit? Because you was raised eating turtle and duck. If you go to one country and you used to eating beef and chicken and they eating, you know, deers and skunks, I don't know, you say, what the fuck is this shit? You know? If you marry into a family, one side of the family could pay homage to their ancestors. Maybe they burn sage or something. Maybe they dance around a campfire and do a little chants. Oh, maybe they're healers. Maybe they're shamans. Maybe they smoke tobacco and they heal with the elements. But on this side of her family, because they marry into each other, they say, oh no, that's bad for your health. That's not healing. That's making you sick. What is wrong with you fucking with this girl frequency like that? She wasn't raised like that. She's a shaman. She's a shaman. She's indigo. She's indigenous. Why are you telling her she's not what she is if that's in her family? You marry into that. How a Jamaican gonna marry into the French? How a white gonna marry into the Indian? How Egyptian gonna marry into Hebrew Israelites? Look at here. You cannot tell your children not to pay homage to their family, their auntie, their uncle. You cannot do that. Oh, he's cute. Oh, she's cute. I'm going to marry them. Think about the kid. You have these biracial children and they're going through stuff now because they feel connected to one side of themselves, which is their family. And you're telling them, oh, that's not who you are. Yes, they are. You have them that's connected to this side of their family, and this side said, that's not who you are. Yes, they are. You cannot marry into a different culture, a different race, and then tell your child, do not speak Espanol. Do not speak Patois. Do not practice Hinduism. Why you into Buddhism? Why you this light sage? Why you burn incense? Look at you cannot. be Americanized and marry foreigners. It's like yin and yang. It's like black and white. You know, you've black and white, the mixed black and white that have cultural traumatization because you're raised this way in this country, and they're raised this way in this country, and then you're married into each other, and then your children are coming out all confused and shit. The mommy's American, the daddy's Indian. The mama said, don't talk Punjabi. But he's half Punjabi. Why you talking Punjabi? I speak English, speak English. But he's half Punjabi. Why you talk like that for? Why would I say put the Paxwa on? Turn it off. I can't understand you. But she's mixed. She talks to her grandma like that. She talks to her grandfather like that. She talks to her auntie like that. So of course she thinks it's okay to talk to you like that. But I can't understand her. But she's mixed. So now she has to go through different sides of the family talking different because she's mixed. That's not cool, bro. If you marry an Indian, learn the language. If you marry an American, learn English. If you marry a Jamaican, learn the customs. If you marry a Trini, learn the ass customs. Oh, but it doesn't go there because it was bastardized and it. No, nigga. We dance with the saints. Oh, you can't call us nigga because no, niggas. Negus, niggas, means kings and queens. That is African Egyptian. Just because they call it niggas, which mean kings and queens, nigga, that don't mean we got to call each other niggas. We call each other niggas. That means kings and queens. You cannot stop people from being themselves. You cannot call them crazy because they was born into it. That's not right. That's a part of your family bloodline. It's not their fault you married a Jamaican. It's not their fault you married a Trini. It's not their fault you married an Indian, an Egyptian, a Japanese. It's not my fault I'm Asian. It's not my fault I got 15,000 freaking mixed cultural shits and I got the fucking tapping all kind of shit. It's not my fault. That's a part of my DNA. I was married. They was married into it. It's in your bloodline. They married into this family. They married into this family. It trickles down. You come out. This is what you are. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing wrong with that. Why my shit turn off and on? Because I'm mixed. Why I'm tapped into so many things? Because I'm mixed. I don't have to. There's loopholes for being mixed, you know. Yes, I had to do Ramadan. But I was raised Christian. So I doesn't have to do the whole 30 days. So when I'm fasting, you know, doing Ramadan, right? But I have a certain obedient level. I cannot worship, but I can fast because it's still a part of my family. I could tap into my Egyptian roots, right? But my family doesn't want me to light candles or channel or use my gifts as a medium, as a psychic, as a high priestess. They say, oh, you cannot do that because, that's like, you know, some people consider gifts to be witchcraft. I'm not a witch. Okay? Because I'm spiritual. That's because my DNA. But a lot of religious people are not spiritual. You know? A lot of spiritual people are not religious. Why being an communist works for me specifically is because I'm mixed. Because I cannot betray my parents, right? My mommy raised a certain way. My daddy raised a certain way. My grandmommy, my granddaddy, my auntie, my uncles, everybody raised a certain way. When you send your children to their grandparents' house, they teach you a part of themselves, their culture. You are their grandbabies. They're gonna teach you how they was raised. They're gonna teach you cultural backgrounds. They're gonna show you how to get rid of bad energy around you. Say, hey, but put water behind the door to reveal what's going on in your love life, in your family, who is attacking you. They say, we put water under the bed so you can sleep at night. Water does calm the spirits. We put water by the front door so your ancestors or visitor of your ancestors will have something to drink because they've traveled from afar to come visit you. See, some of your family is very spiritual. That's not witchcraft. But you have people that does witchcraft. Okay? You're gonna have another side of your family, they're gonna call that witchcraft. Okay? They say, no. We don't put water behind the door, baby. We don't put water under the bed, baby. We don't, what does this say? We don't like, leaves, frankincense, Palo Santo. So we don't do that, baby. We don't, do aura cleanses. We don't wash with flowers. You Indian, you're Caribbean, you're gonna take a spiritual bath with flowers in it. You're gonna bathe with the elements, right? The Christian is gonna say, you don't have to put all that stuff in your bath. Go get you some Bath and Body Works. See, the spiritual people are gonna say, no, that's chemicals. The village people are gonna say, that's witchcraft. It's like, that's what, mixed people have to deal with. That's what I had to deal with. One side of my family said, that's blasphemous. The other side of the family said, what is this Americanized, bastardized shit you doing? That's what the fuck I has to go through. In some parts of my family, we have to break bread with each other. We cannot come in the house and we doesn't eat. That's a sign of disrespect. Right? Some parts of my family, they will not feed your fucking ass. Some part of my family, They feed you because it's not a custom, but just very generous, right? Uh, some family, some parts of my family is love driven. Some parts of my family is money driven. You have to know what's going on with your family. You always want to jump and marry somebody, but you don't go and really dig deep into what their family is into or was into. You know, a lot of Caribbean people is into the arts. Okay, they light candles, they chant, they do rituals, and it's not considered witchcraft. But in some cultures, that is considered witchcraft, right? And certain religions, which spiritual people find to be quite odd, but it's interesting in the aspect, because I've got the privilege of learning both sides, right? When you go to the church, they have an altar. Did y'all know that? In spirituality, we have altars, right? In church, you have pastors, right? In spirituality, we have priests and high priestesses, right? In church, they have communion, right? They light candle and you break bread and you drink the bread and the little bread crackers and the little grape juice, and they call it body and wine. That's a ritual. We call that a ritual. And on the side of my family, we call that a ritual. That is a ritual, right? In spirituality, we break bread with ancestors. We will eat and we will leave a little plate on our altar for our ancestors. And we will light a candle for them. That's the same thing they do in church. You drink grapefruit juice and you eat some crackers and they light a candle and you give some money, communion, and they say a little prayer and they leave the rest of it up at the altar and the pastor pray over it. That's the same thing that does in spirituality. So what the fuck is the difference? I'll tell you what the difference is. I actually told you the difference already if you caught it. A church has a pastor to pass the information to you. Right? That's religion. Religion pass the information to the congregation. Pastor pass the information to the congregation. Spirituality gets it direct. Spirituality is more personal, cultural, right? We get directly. We don't have to go through a pastor. We get it directly, right? That's spirituality. Religion is more extroverted. It's a whole, a congregation. So you have a pastor to pass the information on to multiple people because they may not be tapped into their ancestors. That's how they was raised, to get the information passed to everybody at the same time. It's not a bad thing. At the same time, right? If you're spiritual, you're going to get it one at a time because your ancestor might deal with you directly on a personal level. So I would say spirituality is more introverted and religion is more extroverted. So that is the difference. So I really would like y'all to stop bashing religious people and spiritual people is not that different. It's the same thing. One is more introverted and personal, okay, and cultural. The other is more extroverted and, you know, more open, to where you have everybody get the information at the same time. They say, okay, we all got the same message because we all got it at the same place. But what is beautiful about both of them, which is very intimidating to a lot of cultural, religious introverts, mixed breeds, outroverts. I'm talking about mixed breeds, outroverts. I'm talking about people that are non-religious, spiritual beings that do believe in God, but they do not carry the label of religion because of their heritage, right? We all get the same messages. We just have a different form, method of how we get our messages, okay? So before you judge people, think about why and where and when you're judging them. Because you're going to find out that everybody does the same thing. Some people get it directly. Some people have to go through a pastor, a minister, a priest. Does the same thing a pastor does. A priestess. Does the same thing a pastor does, a minister does. When you become ordained in religion, that means you're high ranked. Ordained means that you can become a pastor and pass the information down. Y'all do know that. Y'all do know that. Religious people do know that. You can go from being a part of the congregation to becoming an usher, to becoming chain of command. You pray over the offerings and the tithes. Eventually, you get promoted. Reverend, pastor, minister, ordained. You have to be prayed into it. Ordained means you were chosen for that position. To have a person next in line who's right underneath the pastor. Sometimes it's the pastor's wife. Sometimes it's the pastor's husband. Chain of command. You have ushers. That's the people that work with the pastor. That's chain of command. So don't act like it's not possible. Right? So don't say, no, you can't do that because this, you can't do that because that. No, I went to church. But I was promoted spiritually. I'm ordained. It just so happens I'm a high priestess. What happened? The other side of my family taught me spirituality. But I still follow the 10 Commandments when I went to church. So what did my ancestors do? They said when she get promoted to be ordained, we're going to show her that she's already been a high priestess chosen for this position. That is why I'm high ranked. This was already a part of her inheritance. But she had to take the long way. She's already been spiritual. She was born spiritual. She's been spiritual since she was a baby. She born into it. But religion tells her to take these steps. So since she take these steps, We're going to show her what we have waiting for her ugly steps. I know that's because she was not utilizing her spiritual attributes. These strangers, they steal her stuff. We have all this stuff waiting here. They steal her stuff because they told her don't use it. It was bad. Why would y'all tell her it's bad to use her gifts that she born with? They steal her stuff. Now she found out that everything that she was ever told was a lie. She always had her gifts. She had it since she was born. That's why she's a high priestess. Because she was born with it. But she was raised in a religious home, even though she was born spiritual. So she doesn't ever do a spell. She doesn't ever do a ritual. She was raised religious. She's ordained in high rank because she was raised religious, but she was born spiritual. Don't you ever question her rank. She did exactly what her parents told her to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now you mad? Now you mad that she did the work and she gets the accolades for it? She gets the credit for it? Now you mad? She went to school for it? She graduated? She applied it to her life? She respected spiritual boundaries? She didn't judge other religions? She was taught that. She was born spiritual. She was taught not to judge through religion, which helped her in her spiritual ascension. Because she didn't judge other religions because of it. Other religions are spiritual, but religions call them religions because they're a religion. They think other people's spirituality is a religion. It's not. Is it, oh, you're in this religion, you're in that religion? No! They're not religions. They're spiritual people from a different culture. America calls it a religion. It's spiritual. What do you know? They say, in that religion, in that religion, in that religion, they're not religion. They're not religious people. How do I know? Because it's my family. They're spiritual. My whole family is spiritual. Indians are spiritual people, not religious people. Egyptians are spiritual people, not religious people. Caribbean people are spiritual people, not religious people. I was born spiritual, but raised religious. What do you ask? I was told my whole life, because I was raised religious, that being spiritual is wrong. Meanwhile, growing up religious, the church did the same thing. How did I find out that they was doing the same thing? Because I became ordained. I said, you do the same thing we do. Oh! All this time, I could have went straight to this and I'm doing it the long way. What did he ask? And the beauty of it is you cannot debunk religion. The beauty of it is you cannot debunk spirituality. So the beauty of being mixed and being born spiritual and raised religious, you cannot debunk either one. You also cannot debunk scientific proof that certain things do and do not exist. Why? Because scientific people do not believe in spirituality. They also do not believe in religion. Why can't they prove it? Because they don't believe in it. They wasn't raised in it. I was raised in both. It's real, bro. It's very real. It's real. The scientific proofs, it is real as well. But it's a way to break down religion and spirituality. And when I say break down, that doesn't mean break down like debunk it. It means break down to explain it. Because if they were raised like matter, science, and they're not used to paranormal activity, they're gonna say that's bullshit. Until they get attacked by a spirit. They're gonna say, now what the fuck was that? You ever see those TV shows and there's be like ghost hunters, or you just have people like with their little cool little gadgets, you know, studying the paranormal and shit? How you gonna debunk it and your camera caught it? And say, oh, that's CGI, that's Photoshop. Your camera caught the shit. They keep on seeing it, and they keep on saying it's not real. That is the level of your belief system. If you're not born into it, you're going to say it's not real. If you're not raised into it, you're going to say it's not real. If you haven't experienced it in your whole life, you've been living with a scientific viewpoint, you're going to say it's not real. What is fascinating about the scientific proof is that they can create a simulation of a religious and a spiritual reality. I find that very fascinating. But it's also very dangerous. Because if you know anything about the spiritual realm, you know not to manipulate matter. Quantum physics is a very real thing. So what I suggest is that when you give things names, be mindful of what names you're giving it. Okay? Some names are very weak. Some names are very powerful. Some names are very binding. Some names are timeless. You know, think about what you call names. Like, I was raised to speak English, but that is not my native tongue. I preferably do not like to speak English, but I do it because I doesn't like to repeat myself. But I was raised to not speak in my dialect, just like I was raised to be religious. So I'm not gonna care, you know, when I'm tapping into my cultural dialect, because there's something, you know, does happen. It's just natural, right? So I'm going to get back into my segue because I didn't take you around a whole circle before we get to gimmicks, right? I like the character Harley Quinn. I'm going to be very careful about how I talk about this character because people are going to be very people are going to be very I have to be gentle with this character. I like Harley Quinn character. I consider myself the Black Harley Quinn. I did a song called Baby Naomi. I call myself Black Quinn. Right? I believe I does that in 2021, 2022. But I put it out on Instagram, I leak it, and I never put it out on the streaming platform. So a couple of artists are still, it's a gimmick. But anyway, my theory on Harley Quinn and the Joker, I'm going to call it a theory because some people got sensitive about it. But I know why I'm going to say theory, like how people say alleged. I'm going to say theory. Alleged. Theory. Alleged. So, my theory is that the character that happened to channel she was a psychiatrist, right? Why I resonate with that character. I went to school for psychology. Yes? The character is a psychologist. Okay? She had clients, right? One of her clients, she actually become obsessed with and end up falling in love with this person. That is the Joker. Joker was, the Joker. Joker had some psychological issues where he had to see a shrink. His issues don't become her issues. See, I find that see that I'm looking. I give you three different perceptions of how I view the world. Right? I give you scientific, I give you religion, and I give you spirituality. Correct? So what I'm going to say about this situation here, in the spiritual alignment with this character, when you around people too much, it's called bad spiritual hygiene, meaning their energy dumping. Scientific, we're gonna get scientific. I'm gonna jump around. I'm gonna quantum jump around you motherfuckers. Okay? When you energy dump on people, they feel like you after you dump your shit on them. Do you know psychologists need to see psychologists? Because you spend an hour talking to them about your shit. And they have to be compassionate and empathetic and non-biased at that to really dig in, and especially, if they're not into money and they're really into it because they really sincerely want to help you. That is where humanitarians come in. Yes, you have paid humanitarians. Don't think all humanitarians just work for free, okay? Some of them do, but some of them don't. That's the different forms of humanitarians. Anyway, if you're dumping on these people that are helping you get your thoughts out, they take that home with them. They take that energy with them to see how they could come up, not just listen, but come up with a solution on how to give you advice on your situation because you're energy dumping on them. Right? So my take on it, right? Maybe she wasn't religious. Maybe she was just scientific. Maybe she wasn't spiritual. Maybe she was just scientific. Maybe the Joker was religious and he becomes spiritual. I'm giving you something to think about. Maybe she was empathetic, but she was non-spiritual. See where I'm going with this? So she had compassion for his story. She became intrigued with it. So intertwined and wrapped up in that, it drove her crazy. Maybe what drove her crazy is a spiritual dump. Maybe he was going through some shit because he was being attacked by spirits. Maybe when he tell her about the spirits that he was being attacked by and he did not know he was being attacked by spirits, they jump on her. Now he feels better. And she get all them shits because he tell her what the fuck is going on with his ass. So now not only is she having compassion, integrity, thinking of how she could help his problem, she also have his demons, spiritually transmitted demons, latch onto her because he energy dumped on her. Now he feels a little bit better. Now he's energy dumping on her every week for a session. Now she's getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and he's feeling better and better and better and better. But he still got his shit with him because it's a childhood trauma, a childhood trigger. She going through it because she thinking about his story and how to help him, and she got his damn spiritually transmitted demons that done jumped on her ass because that's the shit that was attacking his ass since he was a kid and he ain't know. Right? Now her ass start going crazy and she ain't go see a motherfucking shrink. Right? She go from this beautiful blonde hair, right, to one side blue, one side red. My take on it. Matrix. His ass broke her ass out the Matrix because she somehow, some way tapped in. See, scientific people don't believe in spirituality until they get attacked by demons. Scientific people don't believe in religion until angels protect them. So now you have a situation where she becomes spiritual. She wake up. But she don't know she's spiritual. She tapped in. I'm ambidextrous. I doesn't know how to say correctly. I could write with my left. So did you see me this on this hand? This is the dominant hand. But I write with both. That's as you know. Anyway. She's tapped in. He's tapped in. Being tapped in is a form of being spiritual. They call it scientific because they're studying it. So this is scientifically speaking, I learned this and that's what you're going through. No. But if you're tapped in, it's a whole different dimension. If you're religious, it's a whole different dimension. If you're scientific, it's a whole different dimension. So what happens when you have a different perception of it? She broke out the Matrix. Red hair on one side, half her hair red, half her hair blue. Blue pill, red pill. She snapped. She cracked. She cracked out the Matrix. She went from being a program to a free spirit. They called her crazy. Why did Joker become obsessed with her as well? Because she helped him. But he had boundaries that she broke through. He said, I can't let that shit happen. The last time I let people in, they hurt me. They betrayed me. He still has trauma. So he gonna be battling with that shit. But before she could finish his treatments, she snapped too. So they both have an obsession with each other. He broke her ass out the Matrix. She got into his heart chakra. See where I'm going with this? How the fuck you get in here? Nobody get up in my heart chakra. It's like you care something. It's like you genuinely motherfucking care something. How you get up in here? What you're going through is just, you know, scientific. You just need a hug or something. No, bitch, I don't need no fucking hug. How you get up in here? She got in his heart chakra. He got in her psyche. They both cracked each other. Now they obsessed with each other. Why do you think he tried to kill her ass? Because he was around a bunch of motherfucking idiots that traumatized his ass. Now he don't give a shit. His ass cracked too. They both did. He probably cracked and quantum jump. She probably cracked and broke the fucking matrix. Think about it. He probably tapped into a love frequency to the point where you love everything and nothing at all. She probably tapped into a spiritual frequency because his childhood demon started fucking with her. Because she thought they was full of shit. She said, oh, I got you full of shit, bitch. You think we fake? Now we gonna fuck with you. Because he energy dumped on her. Right? So now her ass is acting crazy like him because of them demons. But she fell in love with those demons because they freed her mind and her ass just followed. Be colorblind. Don't be so shallow. That's what happened. Why do you think he tried to kill her ass? Because she got up in here. Don't nobody get up in there. That was his safe space. Because in order for him to tell her his secrets, that means he has to trust her. In order for you to trust someone, they got to get up in here. Bitch, I'll kill you. But I love you. But I'll kill you. You got up in here. She said, nigga, I love you. You got up in here. I get paid to get up in here. This is my job to get up in here. You got up in here. But you freed my mind and my ashes followed. You got into a place that no motherfucker has dared to go in before, because the last time a motherfucker got up in there, they betrayed me. Bitch, I kill you. But I love you. How you did that? Nah, fuck that shit. I'll kill you, bitch. But I love you. They had this very unhealthy, toxic obsession with each other. But in fact, it opened both of their eyes to two different worlds. That was from two different worlds. Let somebody come fuck with Harley. Here come the crazy ass motherfucking Joker. See, his name is the Joker. Let's think about frequencies. The Joker. See, because he think this shit is a joke. All this shit he went through. He said, ain't no motherfucking way I went through all this motherfucking shit. This got to be a motherfucking joke. I got your joke, nigga. Let somebody fuck with his dear Harley. Even though he want to kill her ass for getting up in his heart chakra. Let somebody motherfucking fuck with Harley. He coming for that ass. He's going to protect Harley because she gets into his safe haven. And then when he finish, he going to leave again. Because he got trust issues, boundaries and shit. He done drove her ass crazy too. So he said, damn, there's no fucking hope. Because, you know, we both all fucked up. But he loved his Harley Quinn. Now, the reason why I chose Harley is because I've been through some situations. You know what I'm saying? No, it doesn't have to be literally speaking. But I've gone through situations with past life existing and that, so where I have trust issues. I have trust issues with a lot of people that hurt me because how I was raised. I was raised to be kind, respectful, You know, let people talk shit and still forgive them. That's what religions tell you. Let them talk shit. Keep forgiving their asses. They gonna do what they gonna do, but don't steal back. They gonna judge you. Don't judge back. They gonna throw stones at you. Let them do it. I got you. What? That's what they do. But guess what? They wasn't lying. Because eventually, they hook you up. Especially if you're dedicated. They'll hook you up. But see, they're going to test you. If you don't follow the 10 Commandments, how are they going to protect you? Same thing with spirituality. If you don't pay homage to your ancestors, how you expect them to protect you? You don't break bread with your brothers and your sisters, how they going to vouch for you? You got to learn how to be loyal, humble, disciplined. Take different avenues. If it ain't working, it ain't working. Try a different way to make it work. You keep on trying to lead a motherfucker to drink the water. They don't want to drink it. Give them some fucking soda. Maybe it's not in their tribe to drink water. Maybe it's in their tribe to bathe with water, not to drink it. To drink soda, not to clean with it. See where I'm going with this? Just because you was raised a certain way and you have your belief system don't mean the other person's belief system is wrong. We need yin and yang for things to make sense. The beauty of having different cultural background is that you start realizing that everything is in fact everything. And everything that you've ever debunked is not quite a lie. And different, religions, call them religions, and different spirituality, different spiritual cultures, they all have the same teachings, just a different name. Some countries, some religions, some states, whatever, some spiritual practices, they call that plagiarism. But the funny thing about it is it really plagiarism if that's the archetype of the same one in a different race? See, y'all call it religion. It's not religion. It's a different race, a different language. Because that's what the fuck is going on. In a different race, not religion. It's called something else, but it's the same person. Once you realize that, you will stop being so confused. You will stop judging people. In the English text, this is what it means. In the Arabic text, this is what it means. In the Buddhism, Indian, Hindi, this, in Japanese, it means this. It's all the same person with a different name. That is what happened in the Nimrod days. They all spoke the same language until they tried to play God. They all get cursed. And they all get different languages. You called it religion. They could not translate it, but they could still feel it through the vibration. But they could not translate it. But they still could feel the vibration of the frequency. So they say, this is God. But they speak a different language. They all was praying to the same God. But they all spoke a different language. So in that language, that's God's name. Don't be stupid. Anyway. Think about people's names. Think about frequencies. Think about names. To come to find out, there's not much about us that's different. We're all the same with a different name. It's all the same thing, just a different name. It's all the same thing, just a different thing. The lifestyles of the rich and famous. The lifestyles of the rich and famous. Some die with the name, some die nameless. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. You get it? You get it? Their name is called the Lost Boys. You get it? Some die with the name, some die nameless. The name is called Lost Boys. Right? Because you have some of the gods, the deities. It wasn't religion, it was just a different language. I called it religion. It's all the same thing. But because they was all cursed to speak a different language because they were trying to be funny. One person was trying to be funny, trying to take over somebody else's territory. They all was praying to the same God. But it was a different language. So technically, it was the same God, but a different name. Only difference in the frequency is they was separated. So in this area, we have more water. So you're going to call it a water god. They was separated because they was being punished, right? In this area, we have more land. So you're going to say, that's more like a earth gods, goddesses, stuff like that. Over here we have more Pedro, fucking Taka, fucking yen, the different currency. So we're gonna probably be more materialistic. We're probably gonna look like our jewelry and our gold and our money. We're gonna look like money because we was put in that area where all the gold stuff is at, right? So you got the material area, realm, the element realm, because we got more of nature over there, right? You have more of water over here, and the water, the land has got that stuff over there, right? And you got more like fire. Think about it. So everybody was praying to the same God, but they all was cursed. So that doesn't know that's all the same people. But in the language, it was a different name because the language was different. They all had to relearn how to talk to each other. Because let's say you have a group of 5 people, right? I'm saying hypothetically speaking. You have a group of 5 people, right? Those 5 people all speak tongues or Gaelic, whatever. Those 5 people speak the same language, right? And you have this one motherfucker that speak the same language saying, do this, that, and the third. Now we still have territories around. Do this, that, and the third. This person get wind that you trying to have these people that's with his tribe do some backhand, underhanded shit. Or don't rock with him. Do it like this. And like, I no doubt, got you. There's 5 people over here, right? There's one person like talking shit, right? A word? What y'all doing over here? You gonna speak French. You gonna speak Japanese. See where I'm going with this? See where I'm going with this? Etc., etc., etc. Only 5 people. Your ass gonna go the fuck over here. 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 Some of the places they were sent to had some people over there. Now you got a mixed language. You speak this and I speak this. Now we're gonna speak like this. Some of them went together. Y'all gonna speak like this. This motherfucker went over here. Y'all gonna act like this. It's nothing but water over here and it's sunny. Y'all motherfucking hair gonna be blonde and your eyes gonna be crystal. Y'all gonna be the crystal children. Some of y'all was separated from your family because only 5 of y'all was rocking with this nigga. They still over there. Now you got crystal children over in this area and crystal children over in this area. And both of these crystal children is speaking 2 different languages. You ever see black Spanish people? You ever see Chinese Trinidadian people? You ever see Indian Arabics? You ever see black Egyptians? You ever see black French people? That's what happened. Now, we all look like each other. Even though we from another side of the world. Because they was cursed that way. They was casted out. Cursed and casted out. Whoa! So what happens? They start interbreeding and shit. That means they're talking the cursed language. But what happened? There's still some people that speak tongues and Gaelic. The people that still speak it is the ones that was given 10 commandments. Look at here. Only do it like this. Because the last motherfucker tried to play me and I had to send y'all motherfuckers out. Don't speak this, that, and the third because they're cursed. I'll tell you why later. If you speaking like that, I know you didn't listen. Because that's cursed. If you know tongues, I know you listen. Because I specifically told you to stay in this area. I gave you different languages so I could put y'all in groups. So I could watch y'all motherfuckers. Okay, this is the motherfuckers that betrayed me. This is the motherfuckers that ran off with this motherfucker. This is the motherfuckers that's loyal. This is the motherfuckers that just free-spirited. Okay, you gonna be, this is what y'all gonna finna be doing. Later on, y'all gonna figure this shit out. And then you got the motherfucker that does speak Gaelic, which is not too far from tongues. You have as above, so below, right? they're gonna die out. Because it's really a frequency. Because you was using your Gallic to have the chosen ones disrespect me. You was translating it to them to do this, to do what to me? To steal my throne? I don't live up there. You trying to build a ladder to get up there? I don't live up there. I live in here, nigga. You're now tuned into the Nikki Phillip experience.